So hello everyone. This is a demo session for business Gen AI Enterprise Gen AI for our upcoming training sessions. My name is Parthasarathi Goswami, and basically CTO of this next gen company AI, and also a lead instructor of this acloudguruji.com. So the main idea here is whatever the learnings that we are having during our customer implementations while we are doing the different AI implementations or MVP POCs for our customers, all those things will be reflected in our particularly this training sessions. Okay, so all will be kind of like real world use case scenarios that we'll be going through this particular training sessions. Without further ado, let's start. Everything will be explained in very natural way so that everyone should be able to understand and grasp the things, and then we'll move forward starting from the very basic level. We'll not jump into directly the LLMs and transformer. We'll start from baseline of machine learning and then gradually move to that direction. Anyway, so as because we are mainly from SAP background, we should mainly know how SAP is actually progressing or thinking about this generative AI. So for that, SAP has come up with this SAP AI Core and SAP AI Launchpad. Okay, so for that, I'll practically try to show it to you. And for that, I'll be just going to this SAP BTP Cockpit, and I'll be logging it into my SAP BTP AI Core service that I have already instantiated here. Let me go to one of my sub account where I have the instance of the SAP AI Core service. Go to the instances of subscriptions. Here you can see I have this next gen AI Core, SAP AI Core with extended plan. Extended plan means like this is the top level plan which has like chargeability. So this is the AI Core instance, and another instance, another application that we need to actually go through this particular demo is SAP AI Launchpad. Let me just open that SAP AI Launchpad. I have already connected my SAP AI Launchpad to SAP AI Core engine. Just wait for all those use cases that we will be going through our training sessions. You have more idea about it, but let's just try to accustom with SAP technology first. So here you can see we under this machine learning operations, under the scenarios, we do have foundation models. And what are those foundation models? We do have foundation models from OpenAI, Azure OpenAI especially. Okay, SAP is tying up with Azure OpenAI, and they bring this foundation model. And there are other open source foundation model. It can come from other places like Llama or something else, or even Hugging Face, and also Google Vertex AI. Okay, so let's see one by one. If I just go inside Azure OpenAI, so you can see what are the different models under this Azure OpenAI we can use. We can use GPT 3.5 Turbo, GPT 3.5, 3.5 different models, and text embeddings. What is this text embedding and all? If you think that this is completely foreign terms for you, don't worry. So this is obvious. Okay, so going forward, you will understand each and everything clearly. And then if I just go back to the executables and open source, also there also we do have as of now Falcon model. Okay, so SAP will come up with different other models going forward. There could be many more models, many more technologies will be coming into picture, right? So how to actually cope up with those kind of like technical upgrades, technology upgrades, right? Because today probably you are using Azure OpenAI. Going forward, probably you need to use other models or replace those SAP OpenAI. So that's the reason SAP is saying deploy your solutions in this SAP AI Core, and then switch between different models whenever you need, because you can get everything in the same place, right? And not only that particular perspective, but also the security and integration perspective throughout your organizations, it will be easier for you if you are using SAP as your backbone. So for that, like we do have different foundation models, and on top of the foundation model I have already configured this foundation models. I'll be creating more configurations going forward for our actual training, and then I have deployed some of the models for our usage. Let's say this GPT 3.5 and also text embedding. So this is now in running state. Okay, and now let's go and check out how we can use those models which we have instantiated in SAP AI Launchpad through the SAP AI Core engine. Okay, so for that, to just demonstrate one of the demo here, I just came up with this thing. So let's say this is the thing. Okay, so here we are using, you can see like SAP Gen AI Hub. So we are using some SDK where from we can get some more information for the SDK. Let's see those things as well. If you search SAP Generative AI Hub SDK Python, so you will get the things from PyPy. Okay, so the point is here, uh, let's say that you wanted to use this model. Okay, next GPT 3.5, right? And if you wanted to use this particular model, it is also giving the URL, and you can use directly this particular URL as a API, and also you can interact with this particular model. That's fine. But as because SAP always tries to give you a compact solution for even developers as well, so that developers should more focus on the business use cases, right, rather than mainly focusing on coding part and something like that. So that's the reason SAP has come up with the SDKs. Okay, like this particular SDK. SDK is nothing but, you can imagine, those are if you are from a web background, those are different function modules, BAPIs, and so on. Okay, so that most of the functionalities are there. You have to use it. You have to know how to use it, how to pass the parameters, and how to tune those things, and then use it, right, in your own program. This generative AI SDK hub is the particular module that we'll be using it here. Okay, or package. This is not module. This is package. Okay, and SAP has also given some of the examples as well. Okay, for chat completion, for completion, and so on. So we'll be seeing lot of things going forward. Langchain is also core part of SAP AI Core. And Langchain will be mainly used for the orchestration perspective. There could be different use cases that we can solve, like embedding, chat completion, chat. So just to give you some idea what is chat completion and chat, what is the difference? So just imagine that if you are using a raw LLMs, if you are giving some instruction there or just asking something, so it will not give you the answer in proper way. Okay, if you are asking something, it will just try to complete your question. Okay, that means like it will just elaborate your question itself. But that doesn't happen generally when you use ChatGPT application. It generally gives you the proper answer. That is because of the chat module. Okay, so because we have the chat model inside it, um, implemented on top of the LLM, that's the reason it is able to give you the proper answer. And also how to use the embedding. Those are the things probably we'll see now. Now let's imagine that I have this particular role. As of now, I'm just trying to just set up the stage that what are the things and what are the possibilities out there. So let's say like I'm giving the instruction that you are a Wikipedia of IT company who works in BTP and AI solutions. Now, as a user, I'm asking, tell me about next gen company. What are their pricing structure, rate card? Their website is this. I'm giving some instruction. Please answer short as possible. So what is this particular LLM? This ends with 13B. Let's go back and check our Launchpad. 13B. This is nothing but our 3.5 turbo model. Okay, so from our SAP AI Launchpad. Okay, OpenAI GPT 3.5 turbo model. Okay, so this is particular model ID that I am using it here. So there is no point actually copying these things because this will not work for sure for you. Okay, so now I am using this particular GPT 3.5 turbo model. I'm using SAP Generative AI Hub, and I am giving some instruction here. Okay, saying that NextGen company, as because I have introduced at the beginning, I'm the CTO of NextGen company who is actually implementing different AI use case scenarios like POCs and MVPs as well for different use case for different organizations. So this particular company recently got created. Probably our GPT do not have idea about this particular company. Okay, let's see how it actually will answer about it. So don't worry about this coding part as well. This has been written in Python, but if you are not familiar with Python, everything will get discussed from the beginning, like hello world Python kind of things. And now if I will just execute this particular Python code, here it is saying like, I'm sorry, but I do not have the specific information about NextGen company pricing structure. For the most accurate, up-to-date information, recommend to visit their website directly. Okay, so which is fine, absolutely fine, because it do not have the answer and because it did not got trained with those informations. Okay, so where are those informations? Probably like those informations, if they have already crawled my website and have done those things seriously, they would have answer for that. But as because they do not have answer for those things, and this is the ideal scenario, your industry, your enterprise data will not be there with LLMs like GPT. One second, guys. Sorry. So this is the proper use case probably. Okay, so there could be other scenarios as well, but this is one of the prominent scenario. Now how to deal with this? For that we'll be using RAG. Okay, let me switch back quickly to the RAG scenario. So for the RAG perspective, we can use different database like this one, vector engine, the HANA, Chroma, or something else. Let's imagine, as because we were trying to handle the SAP specific scenario, we will be using HANA. For that also, what we have done is we have used the SAP Gen AI Hub SDK, and as well as we are using Langchain HANA connection there, embedding model, and this is LLM model. LLM model is 13B. There is embedding model as well. Okay, so LLM model will be responsible to complete your chat or to give the proper answer. This is 13B, ends with 13B. The model that we are using ends with 505, which is nothing but text embedding at a 002. Okay, which is also from OpenAI. Okay, text embedding. So there is a different model. Let's execute and see the demo first, and then we'll go to the actual explanation. This is the rate card, okay, of NextGen AI company. This is the information, some information of NextGen AI company, and also as because it do not have any information, and especially like this financial information. So let's imagine that I'll be just giving this particular data as well. I'm giving this particular information here in a text file as of now. Okay, probably we can store it in different other format as of now for our demo purpose. It is fine, absolutely fine. I'm loading this text file in my program, chunking the different information from the text file, and then I am embedding it. Okay, embedding. What is this embedding? Let's quickly first understand embedding as well. So embedding is nothing but the numerical representation of the textual information, revenue of Apple and calories in Apple. It is completely contextually different, right? But if you say that revenue of Apple and nutrition in orange, it is almost same. It is talking about the fruit. Revenue of Apple and employees in Samsung, both are talking about a company. Let's imagine that your model got trained with all those kind of like four information. How it will be storing in your database as a vector, as an embedding. This is a hypothetical way. Actually, it will not happen like that. Okay, but this is the best way to understand how the embedding will work. Okay, so make sure you have that kind of like segregation of the actual thing and this hypothetical thing. Okay, so now here you can see there are different parameters. Okay, like related with phones is location, has stock, revenue, fruit, calories. These are the different parameters. So when I was talking about the parameters, you can see billions of parameter, trillions of tokens. What are those things? Like you are now gradually will be understanding. So these are the different billions of parameter. Actually, those large language model got trained with different context. If I will try to convert the thing revenue of Apple in terms of different parameter, or calories in Apple with in terms of different parameter, it might look like this then in numerical representation. Okay, so revenue of Apple. So you can see the revenue of Apple and employees in Samsung, it is almost same. It is related with phone, yes, one. Location, no. Has stock, yes. Revenue, yes, some number. It is 82 and 76. Is fruit, no, 0. And calories, no, 0. Okay. But you can see in Apple, calories in Apple and nutrition in orange, it is also like almost in similar way, right? Although the calories are different. Otherwise, both are fruit. But none of those are related with phones or revenues or stocks. Okay. So this is how everything, if you just store it in computer, it should be stored in numerical format. So although this is very hard to believe, like as because we are used to see this chat GPT, when we are asking anything in a plain English, it is giving us the answer directly in plain English. It is very hard to actually believe like definitely it will happen or not. But actually the things are happening in computation way. They are storing everything. I was talking about the world open data, though all those data got stored in numerical format like this with different parameters. Now, in our custom use case scenario, as because the LLM, especially this Open AI GPT 3.5 Turbo model, is not aware of next gen AI information, okay, all those kind of informations. So those are the reason I will be storing those things in somewhere so that I will just infuse those information to LLM and ask the related questions going forward. And LLM will also not able to understand the plain text. They need the numerical representation of the information. So for that, we will be first embedding the things like converting those textual information into the numerical representation and store it somewhere. And to store the things, we'll be using some data types in HANA database, okay, HANA Cloud, especially here in our scenario. So that is the thing that we are doing. Okay, quickly move forward. Then what we are doing, like after embedding those things, we are storing the things in HANA database, and then giving the instruction like this. You are a Wikipedia, the same information. You are a Wikipedia of IT companies who works in BTP and AI solutions. Tell me about next gen company. What are their pricing structure, rate card? The website is this. Please answer as short as possible because I don't want it to burn a lot of tokens and so on. Because whenever you will be using those kind of like paid model, everything will be associated with tokens. Like what, how many tokens that you are actually using, based on that they will be charging to you. What is this token and all? I will be just quickly show it in some time. Okay, don't worry. So now before that, what I'll do is I'll open the HANA Cloud as well, because I wanted to show you how it will look like inside the HANA Cloud database. Tables, my HANA Cloud is in trial, not in my productive account. Okay, so that is fine. I'm not able to open this. Go to this trial quickly. In between, if you have any questions, probably I can take it forward very quickly. Not an issue. Let me go to the instances.
Yeah, hi Partha. Partha, like what is this RAG? As you said, like is it used to train a particular organization related data?
Yes, that is a true. Okay. The RAG is that technique you can actually use your own custom data, like your organization data, to train or use along with the LLM models. Okay, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
We are actually keeping our organization data like next gen company data in a text file, embedding it in a numerical format, and then we'll ask, hey LLM, use this particular information when going forward anyone will be asking any question. There will be complexity more in details.
Okay. Okay.
What is this? Let me go to this database explorer. Let it open, and now let me quickly switch back and try to execute it. Let me see if my HANA Cloud is up and running. Now what I'll do is I'll be executing this particular program Python. This is rag HANA, rag tab, and then execute it. It is trying to go to this particular next gen rate card information, trying to convert all this textual information into numerical format and saving it into database. It was using the instruction that I was giving here. Okay, and then it was going to Langchain, and Langchain is kind of like orchestration, the whole orchestration mechanism tool, and then it was going to the RAG engine, pick up the relevant information, giving it to LLM model, and then come out of LLM model with the proper answer, and then it is throwing out to me. So what is the proper answer here? Here it is saying next gen company. Which one I have executed? I have executed Chroma. Now it has contextually aware, but I was using the Chroma, which is another vector DB. Let me just try to execute HANA as well. Okay, or let me just clean all those things so that you will not get confused. And now Python rag Chroma HANA. Okay, so I'm executing this rag HANA. So I am executing it. Now let's wait. This is a very simplest mm, demo here, although of course you will not be using kind of like this terminal window, this black window or something like that. Going forward, we'll be using proper user interface to actually interact with our data or whatever the use case that we'll be building. Okay, for sure. So it is giving me the response. Okay, so this was the query. You are Wikipedia of IT companies who works in BTP solution. Tell me about next in company. What are their pricing structure, rate card? Okay, their website is this. Please answer in short as possible. Next gen technology specialized in digital transformation solution for enterprises, focusing on SAP ERP, SaaS, AI, and cloud technologies. Their pricing structure for engineers ranges from $20 to $80 per hour based on their experience level. For more details, visit nextgencompany.ai. It is taking like what kind of company it is, and the pricing structure. Because I have given the instruction, your answer should be concise. That's the reason it is not giving me the detail level of information, but it is saying okay, so it ranges from $20 to $80, like that. Okay, what about the instruction that will be how this data got stored? It is not taking the data from this text file directly for sure. How it is actually stored in the database? Let's check that first. Okay, quickly. So if I'll just execute this one, and you can see this is the embedding in next gen. So this is the particular database table that got created. Where is that? The tables. Yeah. So this is the table got created, and if you just open this table, open the data, so you can see like here this is the actual data type, real vector. If I'll just open the data should look like this, but if I'll just give you some more readable format, this should look like this. Let me see. Yeah, so here you can see the information that is very important to understand. I have given the chunk size 500. What is this chunk size? Let's see how it is. Let's imagine these are the information. Let's see that as well, because that is also very important. Where is the chunk size? To calculate any chunk, especially if you are using GPT 3.5 model, you can go to this particular website, Tokenizer, and if I will just give the informations, whatever the informations I have given it here, let's imagine like hello, sorry, hello, how are you? If I wanted to check how many chunks are there are 4 tokens, and if I'll just so that means like each and every word is taken as a token here. Okay, and everything is related to token, you can see. And here you can see there are 222 tokens. It got divided into different chunks. Let me just switch back to the HANA Cloud. Where is that? Not able to see these things. Database. Okay, so it got divided into 3 chunks, and you can see there are 3 rows got created. Okay, so the first row, it is taking this much information, and second row it is taking this much of information, and the third row it is taking this much of information with the pricing details. Okay, and my answer is coming both from like uh, I think like almost from everywhere. Okay, or mainly from the second and third. Okay, so this is the second, like the what is this company is all about, it talks about this one, and then the pricing details, it is coming from this chunk. Okay, and every chunk is actually stored it into this particular embedding format, which is numerical representation I was talking about. And then this particular chunk also represented in a numerical format. And LLM only understand this numerical data. Okay, actually computer understand numerical information. Actually computer understands 0 and 1. Okay, at the end. This is the way that we are trying to actually infuse our information to LLM, and then LLM will be giving the response back. Okay, so this is the simplest thing. Okay, I think you got some idea now. Now let's move forward and let's try to check, like, so that means like we'll be using different models like GPT-3, GPT, llama 3, Mistral, Hugging Face, all those kind of models, Hugging Face, different open source models. And what are those models, what are those speeds, quality parameters, you can check it from here. Okay, quickly we will discuss in details in subsequent sessions, and why we are actually trying to use those particular customization like we have done in a particular scenario, right? Because it did not have the domain knowledge. It happens that if the LLM models, the foundation LLM models do not have the answer, it will still try to give you some kind of answer. We do not want any false answer. If LLM don't know anything, it should say I don't know, right? So for those kind of scenario also, we need to fine tune, or we need to do this RAG or instruction tuning, and also training date cutoff. Even though if we are trying to check some information which is already available in internet openly, still probably many of the scenarios LLM will not have the knowledge, because LLM training itself takes some time, like 4 to 5 months, because it trained with lots of data. Whatever the things happens recently, that those informations did not trained inside the available LLMs, because anyways, like those LLMs got released some days back, and it takes time to actually got trained with those data. So those are the things, like this fine tuning, RAG, and instruction tuning, those are the things mostly we'll be doing as a AI engineer, probably going forward in our enterprise. Okay, and the different techniques, like we have seen this RAG techniques just as a very simple example. Then we'll see fine tuning techniques, we'll see instruction tuning techniques, and so on. And we have seen Langchain. We will be actually looking into different industry use case, different enterprise use case from different domains like P2P, HCM, SCM, OTC, AP, finance, AR, and so on. Okay, so I'm just trying to highlight some of them, and then I'll go to two of the demo again, another two demo. Okay, so which is kind of like reflection, like whatever the things that you will be learning throughout our training. But one more thing, probably you will be more interested and try to more understand the things, is this one. Okay, so the course content. The course content is associated with these things. Okay, these three slides, and we'll start from the very basic level. You can see we start from phase one with basic Python, then we'll understand the SQL basics, and then instead of directly jumping into generative AI and those vector engines, embeddings, LLMs, and so on, we'll try to understand the baseline of AI MLs. Okay, start with the regression, classification, prediction models. With every phase, not only the conceptual part, we'll do some kind of hands-on. Let's say like we'll be actually building Python, so we will be learning Python basics. There also we'll try to build small applications in Python itself, so that you have complete idea how the things will work, not only like hello world, but we'll start with hello world for sure. So this is how the training will move forward. Probably you can check it later on as well from our website. And then we'll also go into this NLP, because the baseline is NLP, natural language processing, for our language model, large language model. And then gradually we'll be moving into the generative AI with the foundation part, and also we'll see different LLMs like GPTs, Mistral LLM, Hugging Face, open source LLMs. Also, then we'll be seeing detail level of Langchain, because this is very important. We'll spend more and more time in Langchain, maybe like 4 to 5 hours itself, or maybe like two dedicated session itself with Langchain and Vector Engine. And then how to use the local LLM, so that your data should not go to the internet without any internet and without any security compromisation. You can actually use LLM for your enterprise use case scenarios. Like we'll be using Llama model, 7 billion model. The use cases, which will not only try to not only help you to understand the this particular training better, but also it will give you a boost in your career as well. You can take those projects as a reference for your company organization wherever you are working, and you can showcase your skills. Okay, you can build different POCs, MBCs, MVPs out of it. So those use cases consist from different modules. Like modules means like HCM, SCM, P2P, finance, AP, AR, OTC, all different SAP modules, or maybe ERP modules. SAP is not only sorry, ERP is not only about SAP. You can apply these things to any other enterprise as well. Okay, so we will be building chatbots, the kind of like customer facing chatbot. We'll be using like PDF based financial data analysis. Let's imagine this is the financial use case. So you have the bank statement. We'll try to analyze those bank statement and try to tally the things like credit debit kind of things, and then we'll try to see some of the intelligent database engine, query engine. That means like let's imagine that you have hundred thousands of tables in SAP. We do have more than 2 lakhs of tables. How to query those tables in a natural language way and get information out of it? Let's imagine I wanted to see. I will give you one demo as well at the end of this particular session. But let's imagine that you wanted to see what are the open sales orders are there, right? Or what are the open sales orders are there from last 3 days. Whatever the query, it will go to different database tables like VBAP, AK, and VBAP, and so many other tables, and it will try to find out the relevant information from you. And then we'll try to implement some other use cases like with the Google Gemini, like duplicate invoice check. So there will be reconciliation things generally happens manually in the account payable process in finance, right? So duplicate invoice check, maybe your vendors, your suppliers are sending the invoices in different mediums. How to actually protect the duplicate payment to the suppliers, right? So which is a big loss for your company. So for that, your AP department generally do these things manually many times. How to automate those things like duplicate invoice check? We'll be using Google Gemini there, and then also supplier or customer recommendations is customer segmentation and recommendation. What kind of product that you will be targeting to what kind of customers in which season? So all those kind of things we'll be actually seeing. Even vendor recommendation engine, if you are purchasing some product raw material from your suppliers and vendors, which vendor you have to actually go for, and who can supply the materials in the fastest way. So all those different parameters we will be actually seeing. And also like the use cases, example from HCM use cases, or maybe like success factor use cases. If you wanted to actually scan the resumes of the candidates and get the best candidates out of, like, let's say like 50 100 candidates, so how to actually scan different things, different like resumes quickly, and sort out the best candidates out of those. So you can see like all those automation use case, all those analytical use case, all those prediction use cases, all those reporting use cases, right? So all those even workflow use cases, right? So all those things we are trying to implement here in our particular training sessions. And not only that, we will also focus on the data security part. Although we are saying that we will be doing the llama 3 7B model, which will not be connected to the internet, which is secure. But let's imagine that you are wanted to use different other model or specific use cases. Let's imagine that you have use case that you are refreshing your quality data with your production data. That happens generally in any organization, right? Time to time. So whenever you are copying from your production data to quality, how you can ensure that your sensitive information will not copy directly to the quality data. How to do those things? Like we'll do the data anonymization, and then we'll store it into quality database, right? Those are the things we'll be also learning there. And after learning everything, of course, part the CICD part, will be saying this AI Core, AI Launchpad, AI SDK. so which is coming from SAP, and also we'll try to deploy the things in other cloud as well. So this is the overall picture of our training. So I hope you got some idea now. Let's quickly jump into two last demo very quickly, and so that I can give you some more context, and then we'll wrap up this particular session. For that particular demo, again I'll go to my website. So our guys were building some of the application. Let's imagine this GPT chat